Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Urvi, or you can call me Urvi. So I've been filming videos on this channel for many years now, but it's been a while. I did shift my focus from YouTube to Instagram and short form content. So I filmed a wide variety of videos for my channel here, right from skincare, hauls, makeup, vlogs, and even travel videos. The last one that I did was when I traveled to Banff for my anniversary, and that was one beautiful experience. And as I mentioned, I did post regularly on Instagram throughout that time, so if you would like to check that out as well, the link is in the description, or it'll be somewhere over here, up here somewhere. I'm not sure where I'm gonna place it. So today's video is something very different from what I've done before. If there's anything that gives me comfort, it is a blanket, a mug of coffee, and of course either my Kindle or a book. So today's video is about my reading journey and all the books that I have found interesting and I have loved so far. I know there are many of these out there, but they're all personal, of course, and everyone has their own kind of books that they love, genres that they love, tropes that they love. These are terms that I have come to know very recently because being new to the book community in the world of social media is very different. So if you love books, travel, or just random vlogs here and there, do make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I do have my book over here where I've noted down what I have to talk about because I'm a big time talker. The earliest memory I have of reading books is back in school. I used to go to the library. I was probably in my first or second grade, and I used to go to my library, pick up books at random. If there's one author that I remember I used to pick up frequently, it was Enid Blyton. Those books were my absolute favorite. I loved reading them. There were these sweet little characters and short books that I used to pick up. So that's where I believe it all started. Then of course Harry Potter came into our lives, and a new era in series was, or a new category in fantasy was Twilight. I mean, that is one crazy period of our lives which I'm sure a lot of us have gone through collectively. Post that, I did go into a big disconnect with reading, which I eventually picked up I think somewhere in college. I picked up a few books here and there, but it wasn't full-fledged. So when I moved to Canada about a year and a half or so back, I was trying to find things to do. It was winter, peak winter back home. You could either go out, go somewhere, do anything, but with the snow and everything, I was still trying to get adapted to this kind of weather. On this random day, my husband and I stepped out to go on a walk. We found this little free library tucked away in a corner. I saw it from a distance. It looked like, a tiny little birdhouse sort of a thing, and I literally thought it's a birdhouse. But when I looked inside, there were so many books in there, and I didn't know what to do with them. I wasn't familiar with the concept before, but I immediately googled it and I found that, okay, you know what, you can just pick up books from here. So that's why I collected my first couple of books. Secondly, I also got my library card, which was a big plus because all these new books that were coming out, come on, they are expensive and I really couldn't go for new books at that point. So the library definitely helped too. Towards the end of 2022, I got and that is my Kindle. This truly did change things in my reading journey for me. I honestly was struggling a lot. I did end up reading all these new books on the Libby app. Getting my Kindle and finding all these free ebooks during Stuff Your Kindle Day, or even randomly on Amazon. If you look through them, you can find many free books. So that's how I restarted my journey with reading. There's a lot more into this. I've actually joined a couple of, not a couple, but many Facebook book groups as well. Ones where they give recommendations for all these different tropes and genres and everything of that sort. It's amazing how many recommendations you get, and that itself, the energy on those groups itself makes me want to pick up a book and actually read. Even if I'm feeling lazy on some days, I tend to get through at least a chapter, so that I stay on track. So yes, I would also love to make a separate video about how one can get back into reading after a long gap. I've seen a lot of people struggle with this. I've seen questions like this being posted on these Facebook groups and everything. So I know what it's like, because I've had gaps as long as 3-4 years between reading, and it's not the best feeling. It may seem intimidating at first, but I've been through that journey, and I'm pretty sure that maybe these tiny things that I did could help someone get back into their love for reading again. For now, I think we can get into all the books that I have loved so far, and let's start with the very first one. So the first book I want to talk to you guys about is also the book that completely dragged me back into the whole reading journey, and that is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Honestly, I went into this one completely blind. I didn't know what to expect. I think that popped up as an easy read, so I decided to go for it. Trust me, I loved it. It is a very sweet, simple book about two of our main characters, that is Olive Smith and Adam Carlson. So Olive is a third-year PhD student, and Adam is of course the professor. So Olive Smith is someone who doesn't believe in the idea of romance or love per se, but her best friend Anne is a complete love bug. She is a complete romantic and wants her best friend to feel the same thing as her. So in order to kind of shut Anne's mouth, Olive Smith decides to fake date the first person that comes into her vision, and that is Mr. Adam Carlson. So I love the scene where our main characters initially bump into each other. Olive, being Olive, has expired contact lenses in her eyes and they're burning now, and she's rushing to get them out. She rushes into the laboratory by mistake, thinking that it's the washroom, and that's where she bumps into Adam Carlson for the very first time. Although considering her eye situation, she is not able to see him at all. She just hears this voice, and Adam, being Adam, is trying to tell her of the dangers of wearing expired contact lenses and how they could blind her and everything of that sort. I love how the author started off this banter between them. I also like how easy breezy most of the chapters are. They are not really too long, they're not too short as such. I also love how adorable both Olive and Adam are with each other. The fake dating trope is one of my favorites. I love how someone can go to certain lengths to make the person in front of them feel comfortable. And so all in all, I'm glad I picked this up. It was such an easy read. I didn't even pick up the physical copy. It was just on my phone, borrowed from the library, as I said, and I really enjoyed reading it. The next book that caught my eye is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I think that one was also very adorable. So this book follows the journey of Catalina Martin and Aaron Blackford. They are basically sworn enemies in their workplace, and they absolutely hate each other. But Catalina has one issue. I think it's her cousin's wedding, and she needs a date to go along with her. And there's no one she can actually trust to make an impression, or maybe even understand the situation she's in and just take it in the stride. Somehow, from the softest corner of his heart, Aaron decides that this would be the best thing to do, and he says, you know what, it's fine, it's not going to affect him in any way. Someone just needs help, so why not go along with it? He goes with Catalina to attend this big Spanish wedding with a lot of family members, and it's absolutely chaotic. So while at the wedding, it gives them a lot of time to disconnect from their professional selves and actually see each other as two individuals, truly get to know each other, even though the initial few days are a task to begin with. But of course, forced proximity does things, and I think that propelled this story even further. I love how there are sweet little gestures here and there which show that maybe not so bad, or she may not be so bad after all. It's a slow burn romance, of course, so you have to get through it slowly and actually enjoy this journey, and I had really liked it. So after both of these normal sweet little romances, I shifted focus onto a book that I found on Stuff Your Kindle Day. It's called Spellbound by Midnight by Jenna Collette. So to sum up this novel, a spellbinding mystery leads an unlikely pair on the hunt for a killer. Tessa Daniel needs a miracle, preferably the kind that comes with cold hard cash. Her magic shop is failing and she'll be tossed into the street unless she clears her debt. When a financial boon arrives in the form of a young woman determined to attend the prince's ball, a risky spell turns out to be the miracle she needed. That is until the woman is found dead at the stroke of midnight and Tessa comes face to face with the kingdom's cold and way too appealing lead detective. Detective Derek Chambers has no use for the supernatural. As the rising star at the royal agency, he won't let magic or the pretty witch that deals in it get in the way of solving a murder. His logic tells him to steer clear of Tessa's chaos, but a forced partnership soon turns into an attraction neither can resist. With the body count rising and the kingdom in a panic, an exposed secret will tear them apart and put Tessa in the sights of a killer where no amount of magic can save her. So Tessa, as we have established, is a witch and she has a magic shop that her mother left behind for her. It is also in shambles because she has a really large debt on her head and she's trying to sustain and go through it somehow. So the prince decides to host a ball and everyone is of course excited for it. So this one young lady in particular decides to approach Tessa for some help in going to the ball. She wants Tessa to cast a transformation spell on her, which could go right or wrong either ways. At midnight, the same young lady is found dead on palace grounds, but all suspicions point to Tessa. In the midst of all of this, the royal agency decides to send in a detective to, of course, solve this case. Who we come to know is Derek Chambers. So while investigating this case and looking for clues, both Tessa and Derek start working together to find the answers as to who or how someone could have murdered the lady in question. First things first, this story does have a reference to Cinderella in it. The whole concept of midnight, the girl who goes to the prince's ball, all of this points towards Cinderella. Also, what I loved about this book is the concept of magic introduced in it, the witch and the detective both being together and solving this crime. It has the whole suspense aspect to it. It also has a little bit of fantasy. The book has stuck with me for so long now, and I've been trying to find books on similar lines or maybe the same tropes, similar tropes, anything of that sort. So yeah, loved this book, Spellbound After Midnight. Definitely a must read. Do pick it up if you find it. So this next book was an unexpected pick from the library. I just found it on one of those shelves, and this one's The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I hope I'm saying this right. I'm sorry if I mess up, but truly this book captured my mind, my thoughts, my soul, everything. I finished the book, I think, in 3-4 days probably. This particular book made me feel like I'm a fast reader. Firstly, the chapters are really short. They are nice and crisp. I love how how every chapter ends on something that makes you want to actually flip the page and go to the next one. Just to give a short overview, it's the story of Nina Winchester and Andrew Winchester, who are looking for a housemate. So they hire Millie. So Millie is someone who has a criminal background, but after she's released from jail, she's looking for a job, and she's not deemed fit for a majority of them because of her background, of course. So Nina somehow decides to hire her. Everything that unravels after she starts living with the Winchesters blows my mind. I mean, it's insane. I didn't think I would love thriller, mystery, suspense novels so much. I read that all of her books have the same grip on people, and I know that she's going to be one of those authors I will always look forward to reading. So yeah, I think that book was amazing. And I think finally the most recent book that I read is also worth mentioning over here, and that is The Diamond Eye by Kate Quinn. It's also based on a real life person, a real person. Her name's Lyudmila Pavlichenko. She was a sniper. So this book is based during the timeline of World War II, and I'm going to just give you a brief description because it's a big book and I don't remember many facts about it, but this is what it is. Wry and bookish history student Mila Pavlichenko organizes her life around her library job and her young son. The invasion of Russia sends her on a different path. Given a rifle and sent to join the fight, Mila must transform herself from studious girl to deadly sniper, a lethal hunter known as Lady Death. When news of her 300th kill makes her a national heroine, Mila is torn from the battlefields of the Eastern Front and sent to America on a goodwill tour. Still reeling from war wounds and devastated by loss, Mila finds herself isolated and lonely in the glittering world of Washington, D.C., until an unexpected friendship with First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt and an even more unexpected connection with a silent fellow sniper offer the possibility of happiness. But when an old enemy from Mila's past joins forces with a deadly new foe lurking in the shadows, Lady Death finds herself battling her own demons and enemy bullets in the deadliest duel of her life. So it is not historical fiction as such, but definitely a description of what her life was like and what kind of a life she lived, everything that occurred in the form of a novel. So with this book, I want to actually give kudos to Kate Quinn herself because of how much she researched and how she used all of the material available in history to actually write such an amazing book. The power of her words is such that whatever description she has given, you can actually visualize them. I have never read something like this, so honestly I do not know what else to say except that I truly loved it. Kate Quinn is definitely an author to keep your eyes out for. She always comes out with the best, I feel. Although this was my first book that I read of hers, I will definitely be picking up more. The Diamond Eye, definitely a must read. It's a big book. It is a really chunky book in a way. It was heavy, of course. So those were all the books that have captured my heart, kept me engrossed. Every time I read a book, I love stepping into the character's shoes and truly feeling what they're feeling. It's amazing how all of these books have taken me on different journeys at the same time. So July is almost done and August is coming up. I do have an ever-growing TBR with me, both on my Kindle as well as my physical TBR as well. So I would love to do a fun little pick my TBR over here. I've seen a lot of these on YouTube and I want to try that out as well. Also, it's been a long time since I did one of these sit down and talk kind of videos. It's been a long time since I've been in front of a real camera and sat down and spoken. And since it has been a while, I may be stuttering a lot, I may be mixing up words here and there. So please bear with me, it will come naturally very soon. And if you watched all the way till the end, thank you so much. And I hope that you liked the video as well. If you did, do leave a sweet little comment below. Also, if there are any books that you have read and loved, please do leave your recommendations in the comments below. I would love to go through and add them to my TBR as well, because an ever-growing TBR is a trademark of us readers, isn't it? So yes, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, guys. Lots and lots of love to all of you. Hope you're having a wonderful day, night or evening, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you guys in my next video, hopefully a Pick My TBR. See you guys very soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.